Hello, friends of Wildland Fire. It is Monday, November 22nd, 2021, and I just wanted to give you an update on the fire weather situation that we're looking at over the next kind of 36 hours. Really, we're going to focus on tomorrow, Tuesday, November 23rd. Again, I'm Darren Clabo, and I am your state fire meteorologist for South Dakota. So let's look at tomorrow and see exactly what we're going to be kind of dealing with in terms of the fire weather. Currently, there is a fire weather watch in effect from 1000 hours to 1700 hours tomorrow. Again, that's Tuesday, November 23rd. And that's really illustrated by the kind of tan colors across south central and southwestern South Dakota. There are fire weather concerns down in the central and western Nebraska, as well as fire weather concerns across southeastern Wyoming as well. And I do think that these enhanced or these critical fire weather conditions are going to extend up more into the central and southern Black Hills, along with some of the kind of prairie areas from Buffalo Gap to Fairburn up towards Hermosa as well. So that's, again, in effect for tomorrow, and we do expect red flag warnings to develop or to be issued across that area. So let's look at where we're at currently. Over the past 2 weeks, this is the precipitation accumulation, and really over the area that we want to focus on, it's been pretty dry. I mean, this is the area that we're really looking at for, those critical fire weather conditions. And no area has seen a 1/10 of an inch. It's all been less than that over the past 2 weeks. And really over the past week, it's been dry down there. Just a couple of sprinkles the other day, but not much to speak of. And even across the central and northern hills, they got a 1/4 inch, but again, that's going back like 10 days. We really haven't seen any accumulating precipitation over the past week in those areas. So conditions have been dry. And of course, we have to look at our situation overall. It's been dry since, the beginning of the summer. We are still seeing those drought conditions out there. And so the larger fuel classes are still pretty dry. And now that we're in towards the end of November, of course, everything is cured out. The fine fuels are available to burn. This year's herbaceous growth is dead, and it is ready to burn. And of course, there's no snow cover out on the landscape either. And if we look at our ERC fuel model Y percentiles, it's not critical in South Dakota, but we're definitely looking at areas that are, seeing those above average ERC values. A couple of the stations in the Black Hills are reporting near average or even a little bit below average. But I think by and large, you can picture the Black Hills as really being between like the 50th and maybe the 80th percentile. And Nemo's even shown a little bit higher than that. So the fuels conditions out there, albeit not necessarily maxing out on ERCs, they're definitely available to burn. So tomorrow, let's look at what we're going into. Overnight tonight, we're going to see very poor RH recovery tonight. So this is an image for RH and wind speeds at 5 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow morning, roll 500. And again, across the area that we're really looking at those fire weather conditions to develop furthermore into tomorrow, we're seeing RH recoveries maybe on the order of 25 to 35% in that area. So very poor RH recoveries. It could be a little bit higher when you get down to the valley bottoms, but overall, just poor RH recovery overnight. And that's going to be largely driven by kind of higher winds. So these are showing southwesterly winds across the prairies in that kind of 15 mile per hour range. And across the hills, especially in the central and eastern foothills, we're looking at the potential for gusts from maybe 10 to 20 miles per hour overnight, and that's a westerly wind. So that's a westerly or downsloping, a drying wind for the area. And that area I just circled is going to be kind of the focus area for my discussion for the rest of this. So tomorrow, high temperatures tomorrow, well above average. I mean, I think it's 40 degrees, 45 degrees is our average temperature. And we're going to see anywhere from, the mid 60s in Rapid City, maybe towards 70 degrees or the low 70s in the winter kind of area. And again, we're looking at this area as being the area of the highest wildfire potential, or at least the wildfire concerns going into tomorrow. Relative humidity tomorrow, exceptionally dry. We're looking at dew points from 0 to 5 degrees. Compound that with the temperatures, and you get the RH, which is on the screen now. These kind of tan colors are RHs in that 5 to 8% range. And then you get over the hills, over kind of the central hills, and that's maybe more in the 15% range. And again, everything below 15%, adds to that red flag criteria. And so definitely dry conditions over our area. And you'll notice the winds. The winds are overlaid with the wind barbs. We're looking at west-southwest winds across the area from, this is showing 20 knots. So that's like 25 miles per hour in sustained winds across the areas. What are we looking for in terms of wind gusts? Well, this is the real problem. The yellow colors are upwards of 50 mile per hour wind gusts. There is potential tomorrow across the central and eastern Black Hills of getting wind gusts from 40 to 60 miles per hour. This could be a strong downslope wind event for us. Downslope winds, remember, are warming winds, they're drying winds, and they're also really strong winds. And then if we look across the other kind of threatened areas, if you will, across South Dakota, or southwestern South Dakota, we're looking at gusts kind of in the order of 30 to 40 miles per hour widespread. So definitely strong winds, strong wind gusts, and the potential for a downslope wind event over the central, southern, eastern Black Hills is there for tomorrow. And that's going to be an area of concern that I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. So when we start getting gusts up over 50 miles per hour, it dramatically increases the opportunity for branches to break, for power lines to get hit, et cetera. And so I'm hoping these gusts aren't going to pan out, but I kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up that these are the type of gusts that we might be able to see tomorrow. Looking at HDWI, or the hot, dry, windy index. Now, this is our probability of exceeding the 90th percentile, or getting up closer to the hottest, driest, windiest days for this time of the year. And we have pretty good opportunity to exceed that 90th percentile over southern South Dakota, inclusive of southwestern South Dakota. And if I zoom in a little bit farther, this is the max HDWI for tomorrow, kind of near the Jackson-Bennett County line, northern Pine Ridge country. This is today. And then tomorrow, a lot of the ensemble members, including the operational control member, which is the one in red, are showing above that 95th percentile for HDW for tomorrow. So again, we're looking at kind of critical fire weather conditions developing across south central and southwestern South Dakota. This is inclusive of the Black Hills, the central and southern Black Hills, with kind of a notable focus on the areas between highways 385 and highway 79 on the eastern side of the Black Hills for that downslope wind event. So use caution if you're outdoors tomorrow, and just be prepared that we could get some big fire growth if we do get ignitions tomorrow. Have a great day. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and contact me. And again, be safe tomorrow, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.